Morning, kindergarten. It's Miss Geiger again. I'm here to read you another story about some weird animals. This story we're going to read today is called Weird Animals, Wood Frogs, and it's an informational story, which means we are going to learn some true facts about this new animal called a wood frog. In this story, we are also going to talk about two different seasons. And the first season we're talking about is the winter. So this is a picture of the winter. In the winter, it gets really, really cold. Sometimes it snows, not really often here in Memphis where we live, but sometimes. And you also have Christmas and things like that in the winter. The other season we're talking about is the spring, which is the season we are living in right now. And the spring is after the winter when the earth starts to warm up and flowers blossom, the trees bloom, grass grows again, it starts to get warm, you can play outside. So that is the spring. So we're talking about two different seasons in this story. Like I said, this is an informational story, so we're going to learn some facts that are true about this wood frog. In the last story I read you, we talked about how to figure out what unknown words mean. So if you are unsure about any words in the story while you're reading, remember you can use the other words in the story to help you figure out an unknown word. You can also use the pictures to help you figure out what you are reading about. So the title of the story is Weird Animals, Wood Frogs. The author of the story is Rachel Graham. So you can follow along with me as I read you the story. Can you think of something that gets hard and freezes when it is very cold? Water turns to ice, but did you know some frogs can freeze too? Wood frogs freeze when it gets cold. Then, when it warms up, they warm up too. A wood frog can freeze when it gets cold. You can see in this picture, it's starting to get some ice on it. This is the frog and it's freezing. Finding a safe place. Wood frogs rest when they are frozen. They sleep all winter. A wood frog finds a spot to rest in the fall. The fall is the season that comes before the winter. This place must be safe. The frog will stay there all winter. This frog has found a good place to rest. Winter in ice. Winter is cold. Lots of things freeze. Ice can go all around a wood frog. It covers its whole body. Much of the water in a wood frog's body turns to ice, but the frog just sleeps. Ice can go all around a wood frog. Frozen frogs. A frozen wood frog feels hard like a rock. Its body stays very still. It does not move. Wood frogs can stay frozen for a very long time. This wood frog is frozen. It looks like it's just asleep, but it's really frozen. Spring warm up. Spring comes, the frozen wood frog warms up. It starts to move again. The frog hops back to the pond where it was born. It returns every spring. It eats, jumps, and swims until the next winter. Then it freezes again. This wood frog is swimming. All right, that's the end of the story. Very interesting. I did not know anything about wood frogs, and I'm glad I read that story, so now I know some facts about a wood frog. All right, let's answer some of these questions. I'm going to read you these questions, and remember, the answer to these questions can all be found back in the story. Question 1 says, read the first sentence. What does the word freezes mean? My choices are turns to ice, turns to water, or turns to wood. So I'm going to go back and read the first sentence and figure out what does the word freezes mean. All right, can you think of something that gets hard and freezes when it is very cold? Hard and freezes when it is very cold. Water turns to ice. Did you know some frogs can freeze too? Okay, let's go back and see what my answer choices are. What does the word freezes mean? Turns to ice, turns to water, or turns to wood. So now that we've read that sentence, we can figure out what the word freezes means. Question 2 says, what can wood frogs do? Wood frogs can freeze in the cold. Wood frogs can make hard ice. or wood frogs can stay warm all year? So I'm going to go back to the first page of the story. Figure out, what can wood frogs do? Freeze in the cold, make hard ice, or stay warm all year? Let's go back and find the answer. Okay, let's see. But did you know some frogs can freeze too? Wood frogs freeze when it gets cold. Then when it warms up, they warm up too. So let's go back to the question and see what the answer is. What can wood frogs do? Wood frogs can freeze in the cold, make hard ice, or stay warm all year. Question 3 says, which picture shows what the word rest means? This frog is jumping, or this frog is laying down. What does the word rest mean? Oh, and this frog is swimming. So those are your choices: jumping, laying down, or swimming. Question 4, what does the word spot mean? Safe, fall, or place? This one's pretty tricky because I would think spot would mean like a dot or like a pattern. So we need to go back into the story and figure out, what does the word spot mean? Spot can have multiple meanings, so we need to figure out, what does it mean in this story? Page 2, what does spot mean? All right, wood frogs rest when they're frozen. They sleep all winter. A wood frog finds a spot to rest in the fall. This place must be safe. The frog will stay there all winter. This frog has found a good place to rest. So now I think I know what spot means. Safe, fall, or place. So you can make a choice now that we have read that passage. All right, question 5. What does the word whole mean? Sometime, every part, or any place. What does the word whole mean? I don't really know the answer to this one, so I'm going to go look back on page 3. Winter is cold, lots of things freeze. Ice can go all around a wood frog. It covers its whole body. It covers its whole body. The picture can help me with this one too. Much of the water in a wood's frog. All right, I think I know the answer now. Let's go back to question 5. What does the word whole mean? Sometimes, every part, or any place. Question 6. Look at the word still. Which other words in the text help you understand what still means? Does not move, very long time, or wood frog feels. So we need to go back and read on page 4 to figure out, what does the word still mean? All right, a frozen wood frog feels hard like a rock. Its body stays very still. It does not move. I think we found the answer. Does not move, very long time, or wood frog feels. So make your choice. All right, question 7. What does the word returns mean? Goes away, goes back, or goes over? So in the story, it talked about how the wood frog returns to its pond every spring. So think about, does that mean the wood frog goes away, the wood frog goes back to the pond, or the wood frog goes over the pond? Which one makes the most sense? And question 8, last question, says, look at the chart. What happens in the spring? All right, the chart says, in the fall, the wood frog finds a safe spot. In the winter, the wood frog freezes. In the spring, what does the frog do? The wood frog wakes up, the wood frog stays still, or the wood frog goes to sleep. So think about, in the springtime, when it starts to get warm, what does the wood frog do? And you can look on page 5. It says spring warm up. Spring comes, the frozen wood frog warms up. It starts to move again. The frog hops back to the pond where it was born. It returns every spring. It eats, jumps, and swims until the next winter. Then it freezes again. So you can fill in this chart with the correct answer. All right, that's it with the story. I hope you enjoyed learning about wood frogs. I did. I had never heard of them before, and now I know so much. So much from this informational passage. So keep reading, keep working hard, you guys. Keep learning about weird animals. So interesting. All right, hope you guys have a great day. See you later.